Good evening, welcome to another Live from the Living Room live stream show here from Havering Studios in the south side of Glasgow. My name's David Burns and I'm very pleased to welcome into the studio this week. We have a live session from Fenris. Fantastic start to the show there. That is Fenris live in session here for Live from the Living Room Gigs, instrumental piece to kick off the show tonight. If you're watching, if you'd like to get involved in the show, you can send us a little message in at the chat room there. If there's anything that you want to ask, just drop us a line in there. We'll be talking to Suz about her European tour that she just got home from, about some film score work that she's doing just now as well. I'm going to hand you back over for another song, and we'll just get the mic camera on to you just as you're taking the drink of water. We're professionals here. We know how to edit shows.
Absolutely.
So what are we going to have now?
So next it's a song called In My Head, which is a song that's got some chat that didn't really go down all that well in Germany, perhaps because of my questionable German translation skills, or perhaps because I was trying to put in ill-advised jokes about football, as it happens on the night that they get knocked out of the World Cup.
That's a surefire crowd winner there.
So it's basically a song about me being a weirdo. It's called In My Head, and it's about being unable to tell somebody something and just rehearsing the conversation in your head over and over instead. And I say this sometimes at gigs, and there's always one person just nodding really fervently. Yep, been there. And so I realised that I did this thing where I just rehearsed conversations in my head instead of having the conversations. Then I went, that's a really weird thing that I do. Will I deal with it or write a song about it? Well,
write a song about it.
So this is on my SoundCloud, so if you like it, there's a acoustic demo on there. Check that out. Probably on Facebook as well. Write letters to you. They're in my head, and I know that you can't read them. These 100,000 greetings, and you'll never know what they said. They're in my head. These places I meet you, they're in my head. I met you on some street this morning, silent street where we are prone to be forever meeting in my head. You put me through. It's what you chose to do. You know, as I know, you're the poison in my veins. It's what you put me through. It's what you chose to do. I write letters to you. They're in my head, and I know that you can't read them. These 100,000 greetings, and you'll never know what they said.
Suz Gibson, aka Fenris, live in session here with In My Head. And so we're mentioning a minute ago, you've just come back from a European tour. Mm-hmm. So tell us a wee bit about where all you've been playing around there.
Well, my friend, the fabulously talented Rosie Bands, released an album last year and has been doing a lot of work promoting and touring that. And I was like, well, you know, I speak German, so I could be of use to you. Take me with you. And we actually started off in Leuven in Belgium at the open mic of a Southside Sessions regular, Derek McLean. So that was Leuven's absolutely gorgeous. I fell in love with the place within about 20 minutes. So I'd love to go back there. And then we just went on a kind of whirlwind drive around Germany, so through Hanover, Waldenburg, Regensburg, Langfeld, back through Köln, and yeah, it was really surreal and incredible experience.
Sounds awesome. Yeah.
Meet buddies. Hallo zusammen. If there's anyone from my German travels there, ich vermisse dich.
Hopefully, one or two of them are tuned in, or catch up on the repeats when it goes onto the Facebook page.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll get to see this. Should we do another song?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm here to do.
Yeah. What should we have this time?
I think I'll have another instrumental.
Okay.
Just get those out of the way. I might do it in tune though.
Is it the guitar's playing up a wee bit there? Trying to keep any instrument in tune when it's this warm, it's a nightmare.
No, it's not. It's not okay. I think that's better. Okay, so just pretending that never happened.
Take
This
two.
is an instrumental.
Fantastic. That's a great sound you get from the guitar there. Just before we went on air, we were talking about the way you go about the songwriting. Is that one of the pieces in the open tuning?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a great sound from that. Just at the risk of going very guitar geek. So what's the kind of setup on there?
Oh, Guitar Geek is my target audience, as it happens. I use this weird open tuning. It's kind of like a modified open D, but the couple of tricks to it are the 2 A strings to get a kind of chorus sound. And there's a sneaky E in here. If it's an open D tuning, strictly speaking, this guy should be a high D, but it's a sneaky E. And you get really nice sounds off of the harmonics, and it just kind of plays itself. It's lovely. It does have the kind of disadvantage of sometimes I have to work with other musicians, or if I'm recording something at home on my own and I go, I would like a bass line to that song. What key am I in? Purple. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the. So if you're in standard, you get a fair idea where you are as soon as you. I've only used open tunings in a couple of things, and with the band that I used to play bass in, the Squeaks, Ross came in with this new piece in an open D tuning, and it's like, what do you expect me to do for the bass line for this? What are you playing? How does this work? What wizardry is this you're using?
Yeah, dark arts stuff. Although to me, sometimes being able to just play in key is like wizardry. I don't know. I've got a bit of synesthesia as well, so I've not always been very good at relying on things like technically working out what key I'm in, or technically working out what chord that I should be playing or going for, because I can just go, I think I want something in like terracotta red.
That's something that I don't know if you saw the show a couple of weeks ago when Ross Gilchrist came in and was playing. Something that he gets as well, and he was saying that he kind of quite often sees songs in terms of the colour and shade of them, rather than the kind of the technical chord structure of them as well. So how do you find kind of translating that into musicians that don't see it like that?
Well, one of the most interesting chats I've tried to have about synesthesia in German, I think if you don't call it synesthesia, you can just say Farbe hören, which literally means hearing colours.
Okay.
Because German is a wonderfully literal language. Yeah, one of the most interesting chats I tried to have with that was with my good friend Darren at work, and I was just trying to say, like, well, you know, you just hear a note, and you know it's like that's E minor, but you just kind of associate this with like a kind of ochre colour, and it's like a sort of sienna ochre, and it's an involuntary immediate thing. You don't really get much of a chance to sit and consider it. It's just that you get a kind of flash of the colour in your brain. Like if somebody describes to you a red car, you automatically picture a red car. It's a very similar crossover, and it turned out that Darren was both tone deaf and colourblind.
So quite an interesting conversation to know.
I don't know how to phrase this in a way you will understand. He was like, it sounds like fiction.
What weird superpower is this?
Yeah.
I just get just the notes. It's not something that I don't really have a kind of a concept of what it is, and it's something that was really interesting to hear when Ross was trying to describe it a couple of weeks ago.
I didn't even realise it was a strange thing until a couple of years ago. I was trying to cajole a friend into coming out to an open mic. Oh no, just come down. I'll play you songs that are like, her favourite colours were red and purple. I'll play you some songs that are red and purple, and it was like, what does that? What does that mean? It's like songs that are red and purple. So I wrote down a list of 10 songs that were red or purple, and I realised they were all in either C or C minor. Then I was like, oh, that's really strange. They're all, And then I just started to write down, what songs are green? Oh, these are in D, a lot of them. Oh, this is really weird. And sometimes I forget that it's abnormal because it's just automatic. So I told another friend in my work a few months back, that's a nice dress you're wearing today. It's very A minor. She was just like,
Does it go the other way as well, then?
I'm just gonna go ahead and take that as a compliment. There's just some songs. There are some colours that if they're strong enough and defined enough, then I'm just like, oh well, that's your bass note. That's like A minor. That's the A minor clean in a piano mid octave. That's what that is. That's just. Yeah, very, very, very A minor coloured dress, and she's just like, I already know you're a freak, so I'm just gonna go ahead and accept that as a compliment graciously.
You get Ross and you together for a show sometime. You can compare notes and see if you're seeing the same colours for the same keys.
Yeah,
be interesting to see it.
Yeah, get into a fist fight over which is. No, I think F is more blue. Yeah, I went to see Public Service Broadcasting last year, and they put on a tremendous light show, but they do things with sound I think like I've rarely seen live on stage, and it was an absolutely incredible but kind of sensory overwhelming experience, because sometimes their songs are coming on and they've got teal coloured lights, and my head is going, no, it's orange, it's like bright orange, so there's this really interesting thing going on here for me.
There's a clash between what they're projecting and how you're seeing it.
Mm-hmm. Would recommend to synesthetes and non-synesthetes alike. It's a hell of a show those guys put on.
Need to check that out sometime. Shall we have some more music? What are you going to play for us next?
I think I'll be playing a song called "Be the Death of," which is some nice big horrendous stretches towards the end. Let's see if I can remember. This one isn't anywhere online, by the way, guys. This is an exclusive. Gave you credit for the effect you had on me, and 7 years have passed, and you will be the death of me. You're sitting on my shoulder, sitting on my shoulder. There's no time for hesitating, not like I was ever waiting. I'm not gonna be anyone but me. Can see you in the mirror, can hear you laughing back at me, and 7 years have passed, and you'll still be the death of me. I see you in my footsteps, I hear you in my footsteps. There's no time for hesitating, not like I was ever waiting. I'm not gonna be anyone but
You're watching live from the Living Room gigs, and we have Suz Gibson, aka Fenris, live in session for us this week. And if there's anything you would like to ask, you can drop us a wee message in the chat room. You need to be a Twitch account holder to use the chats, but it's a free thing to sign up for. If you sign up for an account, you can also follow the channel, and that will keep you up to date with any time we are online. You're doing an acoustic session for us today. You also do quite a lot of synth music, and you're working on a film score.
It's a soundtrack for a forthcoming franchise called Kiltopia. It's going to be a series of sort of cyberpunky sci-fi comics, which two awesome guys I know are working on. So check that out. And this all kind of came about. They asked if I could do a synth track for a Kickstarter back in February or something. Mm-hmm. And I was just kind of so taken with the art style, and cyberpunk and sci-fi is so far up my street. It's renting a flat there, you know. It's like, I just loved everything about it. I was like, oh, this is reminiscent of like Blade Runner and Snow Crash, which is one of the best books I've ever read. And the style and the colouring in it was so distinctive. It's like, so I made 3 tracks that night, and it's like, use these. So
the inspiration hit.
Pretty much. And then I started reading through the script for it, and it just kept coming up with ideas, and got myself a proper analog synth and started coming up with a sort of soundtrack album, which is so close to being finished. I'm just kind of at the fun part of music's a pain that you know well yourself, which is the mixing and basically audio admin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got this track and it sounds pretty good, but there's hiss that's crept in on one of the 21 layers that's somewhere, so I'll have to find that.
Then you start driving yourself mad trying to fix everything. And
yeah, it sort of reminds me of when I was about 11 years old, I cut my own hair. It's like, let's cut my fringe in it, and then I was like, oh, that's a bit terrible actually. I'll make it better, and just made it worse and worse and worse. And sometimes audio mixing reminds me of that. Just like,
that sounds exactly like it. Yeah.
I'll just change this one thing. Oh, I've ruined everything. Oh, now I'll have to compensate with all of the other instruments. Oh, no, it's much worse. What have I done?
You change one thing and it throws the whole song out of balance.
Yes. So I'm just kind of at how we're going to be trying to get this stuff like online. So I need some good lossless files, and I need some MP3s so those can go out. But I want them to not sound just like hiss when they're compressed and when they're on a USB stick. That would be quite nice for the backers, I think. Yeah, I think people tend to like hearing the sounds of the music instead of just. No, it's not that bad. I just need to normalise the volume because 1 or 2 of the tracks suddenly go, and now we are loud. And I just wish they wouldn't. So
having spent many nights staring at compression gain filters, I feel your pain on that one.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it will be a great project when it's finished, and I've very much enjoyed the composition. It's a really new style because I'm so used to acoustics and pianos, and a really new style of composition for me, and I've just enjoyed it so much.
Is there any of the comics online yet?
The first one will be coming out in October. So but you can they've got a Facebook page. You can check out Card Shark Comics as well if you're interested. There's a Facebook page for Kiltopia, so you can. There will be links to that because I've got one of the tracks on my SoundCloud as well. So there's links everywhere. Find me on the internet. I'm all over the place like a rash.
We'll put up a link to that. We've got a wee message coming there. Electric Aldo, go Bucko.
Hi, Alan. Hi.
One of your many listeners.
Yeah, my adoring fans. Yeah.
R indeed, yes. Bucko von Dashing here in session.
Yeah. So Alan knows me. Alan is one of the original people who knows me as Bucko because the name really came from my sort of Xbox gaming days, and Alan was part of the squad.
Hi, Alan. Good to see you tuning in. What should we do now? Should we?
I think we'll have a wee song called Dragonfly now. I think
okay.
We could do that. Dragonfly is another one. There's a demo of this on SoundCloud. Again, free. I am spoiling you guys absolutely rotten. And yeah, this song's got a kind of story behind it as well. But maybe I'll tell that after I actually play it, because I've been rambling for quite a while.
Somewhere, but once your face was laid bare, it all became a lot less unfair, 'cause it's all changing, little more than dimming memory. Your anger's like a knife glint back street, cold and sharp amidst your retreat, with no more waiting, no more waiting. You thought you had beaten me, you wanted to keep me, but you're mine.
great stuff. So you're going to tell us a wee bit about the story behind that one.
Yeah, it was quite a personal song actually, and so I never used to say anything about it. But one of the gigs I did out in Germany, I was like, no, just they're getting it. I'm here. Here are my feelings. The two of them that I've had, and people were really, really responsive to it. And basically, it was just a song that was a product of being in a kind of bad place, and the narrative that I fed myself during that time was not having a very great time, because it happens to all of us. And I was just feeding myself all of this stuff about how, like, just because I wasn't good enough, and I deserved all the stuff that was happening, and I wasn't good enough or smart enough and whatever. And there's just a kind of point where I just sort of recognised this niggling wee voice at the back of my head, and I just kind of recognised it for what it was, and it was like, this is all just nonsense.
Yeah.
This is absolute. And there was just this very definitive turning point that I remember, where it was just like, no, and I kind of got my second wind and went back to my default reaction to most problems, which is fight me. And I wrote that piece of music straight off the back of it, which is just to kind of remind myself of you can be laid quite low, and part of the problem for that is usually what you tell yourself about your ability to deal with. So I went on a big rant about that in Germany, and people were like, yeah, I know what you mean. And I was like, oh.
I think it's quite a common thing, particularly amongst people that are doing anything creative. That voice that just will not shut up in the back of your head, just trying to put you down all the time, and it is something that you have to recognise. It's like, no, that is not right.
Yeah.
And I think I can recognise a fair bit of that myself.
Yeah, if a musician falls over in a forest, is there still imposter syndrome? Kind of philosophical question for our time.
Yeah, that's. We're going to go into a different tune.
I am. Just kind of
trying.
trying to do that on the fly.
I'll give you a wee second to do to go over onto the tune. We'll just put up a wee film on the channel here. This is all the featured artists that are coming in over the next couple of weeks. This is that time of the show where we get the shameless plugs in. The links on the screen there on the left, facebook.com/live from the living room gigs. That will tell you all about all the featured artists that are coming in over the next few weeks. If you give us a wee like on there. If you can follow the Twitch channel as well, you can keep up to date with every time we go live. We do a show every Wednesday night, 8 to 9 o'clock, with a different featured artist every week. I also do a few live sessions myself, covers some original music from time to time. And if you're subscribed to the channel, then you'll get a wee email telling you when that's live. The other link on the screen there, we had the little film for that, patreon.com/live from the living room gigs, which is a wee fundraising page where if you enjoy the show and you'd like to help chip in a wee bit to help keep it all running, all the details are on the page there. You can get a shout out on the show like everyone did there, like to Matt, to Ben, to Tom and to Stephen. Thank you very much for supporting us. You can also get exclusive extra recordings that aren't part of the main show. That goes out once every month, and this month's will be coming up in just a couple of days' time with extra songs from everyone that's been in for the last month. And you can also get free records if you sign up to the top tier. I'll send you a copy of everything that my band Marshall Chipped ever records. You can't say fairer than that. That is all the selfless plugging that I have got. Suz, do you want to plug anything yourself just now whilst we're doing the...
we're at the stage here. Well, yeah, I'm on Facebook. I'm on SoundCloud. I'll be on Spotify soon. I've got an EP forthcoming. And Bandcamp. I'm on YouTube. Fenris Music. Have a look for me. Also check out the guys from Kiltopia. It'll be those guys I'm working with for synthwave music, which has been some of the most interesting and fun stuff that I've done musically. If you're a sci-fi fan or if you like Blade Runner music, check it out. And yeah, all of those things. Find me everywhere. You can't get rid of me.
Yeah, and I will put the links to those up onto the Live from the Living Room gigs Facebook page. I can't speak tonight. I got woken up by the cat at 5 a.m. and my brain is turning to fuzz.
Get her to host. She owes you.
She sometimes does. She has been known to invade the studio and jump up, sit on the laptop. Meow 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 meow. She's more talkative than me sometimes. Yeah. Whilst my brain slowly melts, should we do another song?
My brain slowly melts. That could be the title of my next song, but it's not.
No.
This next song has a title, so it seems, but I just refer to it as Cypress Song because it was. Who cares about the actual song? It was born of one of the worst hangovers that I've ever had, and it was the product of an ill-advised bottle of Keo brandy the night before, and that was I don't think I've really been back to brandy since. Just never quite been the same, and I was too unwell to actually leave the house we were staying in the next day, so I just stayed in the house with the guitar and crawled out to it and made a song. And my pain, Suffer for Your Art, has been brought to you through time.
Inside of me, I don't know where you've been, and it's running away, it's falling apart, it's running away, it's falling apart at the seams. it seems. And you tore it all down, you picked it apart. You tore it all down, you picked it apart at the seams.
That's fantastic stuff there. We're just about coming up to the end of our hour here on Live from the Living Room Gigs. Should we try and squeeze a couple more songs? I think we've got time for maybe one or two more.
Sure.
Should we just go straight into another piece?
Mm-hmm. And this is a track called All For You, for reasons that will lyrically soon become obvious.
I touch the sky for you. I climb the heights of who I am for you. Yeah, it's true. It's all for you. I stole the sun for you. I burned off most of who I was for you. Yeah, it's true. It's all for you. Me too. I will for you. strong. But how we get here, where it doesn't mean a thing, and I don't know how I went so wrong, or where I'm going, but it doesn't even know who or what I
Well, that is just about all that we've got time for this week. So thank you very much to Suz, Fenris, Bucko for coming in and playing tonight's live session. Thank you to everyone who's been watching. We've got another wee message here from Electric Lado saying great guitar work. That's,
Cheers, Alan. Cheers, my one fan.
I'm sure there's loads more out there. They've just been too shy to use the chat room tonight.
Yep.
Yeah. So shall we have one more to close the show?
Yep, and it's the appropriately titled End of Everything. And yeah, again, you'll find this on SoundCloud. You'll find a full band arrangement with the super talented musicians. That's actually, for once in my life, not sarcasm. Really, really far better musicians than me, who humbled me by coming along to the studio. John Marshall, Mads Mitchell. So those guys are there making my work endlessly better. So SoundCloud guys, wherever you're watching. And for the original acoustic version, End of Everything.
There is a place beyond the sea where nothing changes. There is a land of grays and green beneath an ink-spilled lowered sky, where I don't know what I'm watching or waiting for. We're starting over where we're free. We stood together, watched the end of everything. Although you stayed with me a while, it seems I never saw your face. And there at the end of everything, out past the edge of sorrow, where I met you, I let you go. And we're starting over where we're free. We stood together, watched the end of everything. We're starting over where we're free. We stood together, watched the end of everything. We're starting over where we're free. There is a place beyond the sea where nothing changes but me, where nothing changes